He's like, move that toe, move that toe, move that toe. Yeah. Move that toe. How's that, Mama?
That shit was hilarious. I won't even lie to you. It was hilarious.
Niggas are acting like you don't say funny stuff. Must with cards.
No, I'm not trying to say
Nah,
move
but
your
I must
toe.
not get haircut when I say, hey, so Zeni. Hack PH, dog. Some swear up on King Kong inside.
Fucking volume.
Fucking volume, boy.
It is us, we there. Because Tina said we are black, we are back. What's going on? It's called the Shady PHodcast. My name is Shady, and that guy over there is Podcast.
With a PH.
Yes, sir.
As petting in season, I'm trying.
But before any season, hello there, woman in tech.
Hello.
I thought you have no voice.
That was last week.
Oh.
Hi, boo. I'm back.
Do me this favor. I don't know why I'm going to because now I'm the one getting sick.
No, it wasn't me.
You need to give me whatever remedy.
Ginger Makai.
Yeah, okay. I get. Yeah, I know what's happening here. But in the building, we have a legend.
Dang, have I reached that stage?
Shut up, dog. Jesus Christ.
Dang.
You wanted to retire. What the fuck? It's in Oski. There's like lifetime achievement. Sure, legend. Sure.
We have a legendary figure in the building. Between myself and Warras, we share the microphone. We've shared the same microphone in terms of stations with him. An amazing voice. You wake up to him if you listen to that other station. If you listen to that other station, I'm joking.
It's the Mighty Metro.
If you listen to Metro FM, you wake up to him every single morning. He takes you from point A to point B in style. His name is DJ Sabby. His wife calls him Sabelo.
Wow. Yeah. I also call him Sabelo.
You know what I mean? No, she calls me Sabwab, but she calls me Vui.
And man, DJ Sabby's in the building. What's happening?
Yeah.
Sir, what's going on?
Fuck, I love podcasts because I can say that shit.
Hey.
Hey, dog, I'm good. I'm happy, guys. I'm good. You happy, man.
You know where I found this
guy.
guy? Let me start with the story of Sabby.
It was Y Academy.
Y Academy.
Yeah.
We used to have this thing for context called Y Academy where in fact, it was like an internship.
It was an internship program.
Looking for talent, you know, like you come through, but you worked in every department.
Yeah.
On air, behind the scenes, content producer, technical producer, sales, whatever.
Yeah.
And Sabby excelled at sales.
For me, I've just always wanted to get in behind the microphone. Funny enough, Mangshaiwa Academy, I was just chilling downstairs.
Really?
Downstairs is where you see the DJs. This is the
oldest studio.
Old studio.
Okay, old
yeah,
studio.
no, we had a rootless experience of our academy.
Yeah.
I think these internships are nice.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Warras I left the boxes in my car, go fetch them.
Sure. No,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
sure.
It was a crazy time, but it kind of shaped us to be the kind of people that we are now.
But something that stood out for me, and that's why I'm not surprised with Sufika breakfast and Metro, is that Sabby, you know, you would notice in the Y Academy who was there to fuck around and who was there because the intention was to get somewhere. Yeah. When I would say he work ethic from the time that he came to Y Academy, like he says, he would sit outside the studio, book on.
Yeah.
And we got along because Sabby's from Mondlo. So farm there, my man.
From the
Black
KZNs there.
What I was giving me in the Mondo State.
He's my home nigga.
You're from like...
Yeah, I'm from
the rurals.
The rurals.
No. Don't make me that guy.
No, in Makaya.
I'm just saying, Makaya. No, I remember you told me.
PH's classes, diabo. Uyajaja lo muntu fethu. Nami ungiphathe kanje.
Khule ngeTempo athi PH. Like this guy.
Thina sikhulela emfuleni. Sikhulela Sakamanzi.
You know, I remember once hanging on my cheat. Shower live. Guys, when all the other parents they were peace by Toya.
Yeah.
We were parents. Yeah. That time of Faki chicken.
Yeah. So you're saying?
So it's so like small town, like very rural,
Very
you know,
small.
Emakaya,
Sure.
you know. So I mean, you know, when you come to Joburg, and I've said this before, it's very rare to find someone from like home,
Sure.
home. Not just like, oh, you from KZN, I'm from KZN. Where you from? No, Durban, Pietermaritzburg,
Sure,
you know,
from the metros.
The metros.
Yeah.
It's like, where you from? No, Freight. It's like, oh, Freight. Ngwase Mondlo, you know,
Sure.
ngwase Mahlabathini
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, yo, damn, because. Bro, you know the story. Yabo figure PH coming from there. Hey, dog, it's a miracle. So
It's a
to
miracle,
come
dog.
to the point where you're doing breakfast on Metro FM,
Sheesh.
Sabby had to pull some P. Diddy moves along the way.
Hey man, don't do that. This is a man of God. Don't do that.
You know, people saw my trajectory when I arrived at Metro. You know, I came through, turned that top 40 into the biggest thing on the station. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those people, bro. Like, Mina, you can tell me who did it, how they did it, but open the mic, I'll show you.
Sure.
That's it. I came through, I did it, became the biggest show on the station.
Sure.
Haven't been heard of.
The,
You know what I mean?
the numbers that he was turning, and I think the amount of sponsorship on the weekend,
Yeah.
was insane. Like he would, the top 40 has always been a big show on the weekends, but I think what this guy turned it into, and the amount of features that he added onto the show, I would be like, where do you get the time to do the top 40, but still, you know, get to do this
Make
research?
it your own, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
it was one of
and
those.
I think that was the one thing I enjoyed about him. So I had the show after him.
Yeah.
The
So
cruise
it was-
control.
Yeah,
What got you book on now?
yeah, you know me.
Nah, you
Last
getting a
number.
P. Diddy.
I was on, you know.
Then he's actually partying with Diddy.
Oh, wow.
Pull up the picture. Pull up the picture.
We don't speak about that here.
Okay, we'll cut this part out. We'll cut this part out.
No, and it was always a pleasure, like either driving into you know the Metro studios, listening to this guy, you know, put together the show. And it's just obviously when you understand what goes into radio, it's like yes, everything is seamless. You know, there's no random, you know, quiet time or just the bits of information that this guy gives you, how he packages the show. You were always going to be destined for.
And the crazy thing would, you know, as PH says is, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. When I took the top 40, there's this guy who comes up to me as Bemurukwai. Shawele life. I'm thinking about my own shit.
Now
It's
who's
like,
Pebble
leave that, man.
ask him. Mfana, I don't get it and I don't think I'll ever get it. You left a drive time show to go do the show. But one thing you got to make sure is it's got to make sense to some of us who've been fucking with you for so many years. Because now we're deprived of you.
Yeah, but
You know,
From
for 5 days.
from listening to you every single day. Yeah,
Now
yeah.
we gotta wait for a weekend.
Sure.
So you gotta make it make sense. So when you punch on Saturday, you gotta make sure we feel it throughout the week.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. Shout out to whoever is that dude. I share this with almost in every interview I do because it resonates on. Sometimes you just gotta focus on that gig you have, that one
Even if
set,
it's that
that
one
one
show.
scene.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mfana, we bulale. There's no platform that is no small. There's no platform that you should take for granted. And every time, bro, I came through and I did that show, I created a formula. I come do the show on Saturday. Monday, I give you a recap of the show. Tuesday, I give you a recap of the interviews. Wednesdays, I start talking about what to look forward to on the weekend. Thursday, I'll give you a preview of what to expect in the weekend. So I'm in your face the whole week, but you're not aware of it. You know what I mean? By the time I come on Saturday, I've created so many appointments that you know for a fact that, yo, I can't miss that show. You know what I mean? So there was so much work, as PH, you know, just alluded to the fact that when I got that show, I turned it around. And shout out to Paul Shong, where, you know, may I so rest in peace. I was like, bro, you've made Saturday a highlight day. You made us look forward to Saturday radio. You know what I mean? And for me, I felt like doing that, you know, I've done it. You know, you can put me in the likes of Sammy T, Adil, DJ Sabby, top 40.
Was a legend. Was a legend.
I did that.
Off, King. Go on.
No, I did that. I did that.
Okay.
No.
And then
your
talk
shit.
to us. So you left Drive on why? Did you feel Uguti why had reached the point where what else could you still do there?
I wanted breakfast.
Umsebenzi wakho was over at why? Yabo?
Yeah.
Was there more that could be done? Like Njenganomchita, when he comes and he says, no, Faith, you've left a weekly show, a weekday show, Uguzala, to do one show a week. For when? Now, what were you feeling when that call came from Metro? Were you like, fuck, this, nobody's like, fuck this drive time show, I'm out.
Hey, Warwick, dog, I've always thought now I'll get that call. I've only got that call once from another station calling me to join. But at that time, time
wasn't right.
Yeah, time wasn't right. Time thing is very important for me. No one called me, dog, when I left Y. So how Y played out, me, I had a meeting now where I'm like, guys, I've been doing this drive thing for almost 6 years now. I feel like we've achieved so much has happened in the industry. We've been consistent. These are the accolades. I think Tap has done so much also for breakfast. It'll be dope for us to swap.
Sure.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
And that was not going my way. And then at some point, I realized, good, no, man, let's dice a hamby grand. Things were just changing in the environment. Yeah, like, hey, dog, it wasn't, they started giving me some pop music, where something is happening here. Then I resigned at Y. It was the hardest decision because for years in being at Y, I never thought I'd also have a distasteful exit. You know,
everyone does, my friend.
Yeah, you know, and every time people share these stories,
sorry, bro,
I never thought I'd relate. I thought my exit at Y was going to be different.
Like it's 10 years.
It's a tough one. Yeah, well, when it's that discussion about you leaving, especially, you know, I always say like radio and TV are industries where the jobs are so few and the people who want them.
Yeah, it's a million.
So, you know, it doesn't make sense to them if you want to leave willingly, especially when your show's doing well.
Sure.
And it doesn't make sense to you when your show's doing well and they're like, Yazin, for sec.
Yeah.
So it leaves that sour taste in your mouth where you're like, what the fuck? Nothing's broken. Why are we doing this?
Sure.
You know? If it's not broken, don't fix it. So
yeah,
don't feel bad. We all
No.
lived
That's why even now
unceremoniously.
I say I don't have issues with Brand Y. I'll never have issues with Brand Y. It's the people who were behind it at the time. They really made me feel some type of way.
Sure.
And yeah, man, I left. And crazy enough, I was not allowed to put out my press release that I was leaving.
I remember.
They held on to it.
What do you mean you weren't allowed?
Mfana, they were like, you can't. We have to drop the press release first.
Yeah.
So how everything played out, I only called 2 program managers. You don't want to come across as desperate.
Sure.
I called Sia. Sia was still at 5 for the
5,
time.
yeah.
I'm like, yo, Sia, this is who I am. Sabby, I do the drive show and why. I think I'd be great fit, you know, for 5. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool, send me your stuff. I
And
sent him my
that's
stuff.
a nice progression.
You know?
From Y to 5.
Then I called Tony.
Tony.
Oh,
You
Tony
know?
Tone.
At Metro.
Glow.
Tony's like, yo, Sabby, last minute, Mvana, I don't have anything. Nothing. But you know what? Let's stay in touch. Bro, this is March. The first week of March. I'm serving my last few days at Y. So Tony at some calls me, he's like, Mvana, I need proof that you're leaving. Dog, I need this press release out.
Okay.
Because he needs
Okay.
proof that
Okay.
it's not hearsay. You're
Yes.
really leaving
But
one.
you are not allowed to drop your press
I can't
release.
drop a
You
press
have to wait
release.
for them to drop their press
Yeah.
release.
Sure.
Then my publicist, shout out one time to Sheila. She was like, well, if Phil drops it, if someone leaks it somewhere online,
Sure.
we
It's not
didn't-
your fault,
It's not
yeah.
my
Sure.
fault. Then Phil made the tweet, Sabby's leaving Y. Then everything changed after that.
But you knew nothing about that, of course.
I knew nothing about it, but I can tell you right
As
now.
you can see, we have people crawling on the floor here. When's
You know
I'm
what I
fine.
mean?
No, I remember you telling me the story about the press release. And then I remember saying, because I remember you said that Tony told you that you got nothing.
There's nothing.
It's literally the same thing when I left 5.
Yeah.
I left 5. I was like, hey, Milan Grand, you know? As I'm walking out of the 5FM
Studio.
No, upstairs. Not even the studio.
Okay, yeah,
upstairs. I'm like to Tony, yo, I just resigned. Literally just resigned.
Yeah, you bumped into him.
I bumped into
Yeah.
him. He's like, yo, I just submitted my budget for the year. I've got nothing. And I was like, hey, man. He's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I just handed it. I just told them that I'm not renewing my contract. And then he's like, yeah, okay, cool. Give me like a week.
Yeah, born.
Yeah. Then that's where we're able to then move the times because the show didn't exist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the show time didn't exist.
Unamanga, that's when he made the call. He phoned someone and he said, Fusek, I'll say.
No, so top 40 initially went over to 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then there was a show from 1 till I think 4 or something.
Yeah.
Then they took an hour from each show to give us.
Cruise control.
Yeah, to give
Cruise
us the
control, yeah.
So I remember. So shout out to Tony, man. Tony will make a plan. That's what I'm trying to get at.
That's fucking smart because
Yeah.
you don't want
He
to turn
sees the
down the
value.
talent.
Yeah.
When
He
there's
sees
a
the
value
value.
proposition.
So that's what
It's
I'm
like,
trying to
yo,
say,
we
yeah.
want this guy here. So
Yes.
since Aranjan.
Yes.
Even
And I
like what
called
you
him.
say,
Yeah.
the way that you changed the format for your top 40.
Sure.
Something that radio is famous for is like the reluctance to change.
Sure.
Where
Sure.
it's like, yo, this is my idea. I want to do this on these days. Konoguts on Saturday. ingena kanje.
Yeah,
Then
sure.
it can be met with fetha yabona uzangento eziningi, just do your show and shut up.
And this man, hey, shook that station. Eh? People during the week were like, hey, my job here, hey. No, this guy.
But I was not.
What's him not beat no mundu man? Uyinkavi.
Dog, I would call upstairs, like, can I get a stand-in, dog? Hey, big valley.
It's like, nope.
Hey, big valley, dog. And then new management came through. They gave me a shot. Shout out to Sia and Kina, man. Like, I remember standing in for Mo.
They didn't give me a show.
And now I'm here.
And now you're here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking.
But dog, it was tough. It was tough. I remember the first year, dog, I used to ask, yo, stand-ins, please, anything.
Yeah.
Dog.
Born.
I didn't see I came through and Kina, they gave me a shot, dog. Mfana ngayenza they are standing. Ngachi, my push-ups, KO, and that's Rancho's video.
Yeah.
And fast forward here.
If at that time Ubuchuna Latina must end in.
Well, the thing about why, the great thing about why was that, you know, my unit, dog, if you dope enough, you get a shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah,
And again, you
it
make
wasn't
it
easy,
count.
though.
Yes, you make
wasn't
it count,
easy.
dog. Because a lot of people got the stand-in opportunity. They come there, they fuck it up.
Yeah.
But better nje lapho. And then
Exactly.
it's difficult to say, give me a stand-in again. Zubedid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's good, Uguti, like on Metro, you came through, you delivered.
Yeah.
You know?
And now
we are
it's to
here.
prove to the other people that have been vouching for me.
Sure.
Because that's another thing, when you come from regional, I need to know about Gauteng.
Yeah.
Freaking 8 more provinces, dog. Some people have heard of you, they've seen you on TV.
Or
but
not
they
heard
don't
of you.
know. Yeah.
They
About
don't.
what?
Yeah.
So they hear you on the weekend. I remember me and Malcolm, shout out Malcolm as my technical producer. Malcolm would cook up these dope promos that you'd hear throughout the week,
Yes.
pushing that Sabby needs to be on weekday, voice notes from the listeners, all that kind of stuff. So he would kind of like maybe once a month.
Yeah, he
run
was
a
your
promo.
marketing manager.
Shout out to Malcolm, man. Once a month he would run that promo, and then the other 3 weeks he would run promos that are generic about the sound of the show.
Yeah.
But on that week, when it's month end, we'll always run a promo and says, yo, Asebi, you must be on weekday. Yo, the top 40
Yeah.
must be 7 days a week. That kind of vibe, you know. That also played a role because he also truly believed that I really fit on weekday. But I knew that I had to prove myself to the other 8 provinces, showcase what I can do to the other stakeholders within Metro. Because Metro's
Not
a
really
beast,
the
guys.
other 8, man. You just need to prove yourself to Gauteng, KZN, Eastern
Eastern
Cape.
Cape.
Fuck the rest.
Wow. Anyways, let's fast forward. Let's fast forward. Umfundisi manje. Hallelujah. But I'm saying, I'm joking. We'll get to how I think you are an important part in people's mornings, Babu Mfundisi. But we have a normal show that we have here.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I was about like, yo, goodness, cool, man, radio. What else?
We have a normal show that we have here.
This Wikipedia here. What
Yeah.
is a Wikipedia? Guys?
What do you mean about Wikipedia?
What do you mean? We have a normal show. What are you talking about? No, I'm just
No,
saying.
Warras knows everything.
Oh no, we do, yeah. But catch up.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm so lost. And I saw you all sign languaging each other. This man was crawling on the floor. What the fuck is going on?
man,
Where is my vape when I'm fine?
The one camera was
You can vape while you work.
Yo, this is a
My man.
podcast.
You think this is SABC?
Guys, you're
Must I
not
jump on this table and show you I won't get fired?
Yo, let me push my own show. I can push my own thing. Paula, Bloemfontein, we're coming through. Agna management is on course.
Order, comrades.
Agna management is on course.
Okay. Until happy now.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
No, here.
That's a fucking good idea, actually.
Yeah, dog, try happy now.
Yo, get a Hablis here, Gideon.
Can I please, the first episode in Habli, can I be invited?
We got you.
Just thank you.
Order.
Talk to us. What have we...
Yeah, I think we should start, since this is an all-man, show.
hectic.
Ukuthi Shannon Sharpe and his
Oh, the leak.
Uncle Sharp. Yo,
Shay.
I'm going to say something.
Say something.
You've had an incident like this
Get
before?
the fuck out of here, man.
Is that how you sound?
No. Whoa.
Ambo meek meal.
Anyways, no. So, Unc, obviously, like they've always said that he plays for the same team.
Oh,
They've always said,
yes,
yo,
they have
so-
said that, yeah.
So,
We are late.
so a lot of guys were like, yo, man, this is a stunt to prove that, he doesn't play for the same team.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. That video sounded like it had some bass in it. that person who was
Getting chowed?
yes,
No, man. He said my Michelle.
yeah, it could be my kid.
Alright. He didn't say my Michelle Obama. He just said my Michelle.
No, I'm just saying that. That's
That can't go over your head.
No.
I'm sorry.
that's crazy.
That's
Daddy
wild.
Honi aga metro. Piu, 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 piu.
That's crazy. Wow.
Awuzange
No,
ngehoni.
I like it. Just sounded like
A dude.
there was, there was some bass in that
You
moaning.
maybe because I think your judgment is clouded by that people.
I don't
that are
judge.
saying.
I don't judge.
My thing is, it wouldn't be hard to leak a thing like that, and it comes across as real as possible. Because really, there were sick sounds on the video. There was no video. You
Yes.
understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm sure he was just chowing. But
but also
when he
like-
said I was hacked for the leak to happen,
Yeah, well,
nah,
he
yeah,
cleared that
I don't.
Yeah, he cleared it up.
No
He had
sounds
to.
of that.
It's the timing of the hack for me.
move-
They
yeah,
could have
move
hacked
your
him at
toes.
any time. He could have been talking about what they're cooking for dinner. He could have been talking.
Sure.
He could have been hacked while on the podcast.
Sure.
You telling me they hacked him at the exact time that he was having sex?
But remember that these tech geeks, right? They are able to. You see, right now they're watching us as we do the show. If they really want to tap into your phone, they could literally open the camera and start recording.
Those aren't tech geeks,
You know
dog.
what I
Those
mean?
are
No, the
Zimbabweans.
apps. Huh?
Those are not tech geeks. Abantu baseZimbabwe.
We're
Khuluma
Warras.
nabo. Ushabo sikisti.
Hey, this man's got more than 60.
Hey,
60
Kono
No, man.
You talking about Uncle Wasabi? Shout out
No.
Wasabi.
It just felt a bit too
Staged.
staged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no.
shout out Unc. Shout out
Look,
Unc.
it
got his
also
PR.
it doesn't for me. It doesn't dispel any rumor. It's like if we thought you were gay, because if you chow a cherry on a live, my man, we're still gonna think you're gay.
Bro, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and
I'm
that's
just saying there's
fine.
nothing wrong with your sexuality. There's absolutely nothing wrong.
But how would you have felt if the leak was actually him?
What?
Will Smithing someone.
Yo?
Bungeke umbheke ngendlela efanayo. Uthi kanjani sef?
Hey, man, I'm not going to get into that, but all I'm saying is...
It's like, move that toe, move that toe, move that toe.
yeah.
Move that toe. How's that, Mama
Man, that shit was hilarious. I won't even lie to you. It was hilarious.
Niggas are acting like you don't say funny stuff. Masengu is cards.
No, I'm not trying to say
Nah,
move your
but I
toe.
must ngangeheka wena sebi. Hey, so zwenyi. Hack PH dog. Ngizomzwela mfana King Kong
Fucking
wenzani.
volume.
You like that?
Fucking
Fuck it for you,
volume.
boy. Say it. Fuck it for you. Iphelile volume. Ivuliwe. Vuli volume.
Oh my God, no.
You know, there's a funny clip, man. It's from like some interview. You know, like I love the internet because it's just given everybody a platform to do any nyaga nyaga of interview. And then kono munyu mama, mom interview ayo, and then the husband is there and she's there, and the interviewer is like, manje uhlushwa yini mama? And then she's like, ayi lo baba lo njalo nje makafike ngitshela ngesend. And he's like, his response is like so Zulu, dog. He's like, how much money can say?
Nah, I don't wish. I don't wish that on anyone, man. But shout out Unc. Shout out Shannon Sharpe. Yeah, no, that was
Have you ever had anything leak?
Luther, boy.
Luther.
I mean, I'm
Angikholhi.
boy. As far as I know, ngikama ngayo kuphela angaze ngishute. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
I don't know, man. I think nudes are like a waste. I'd rather see that shit in person.
Nudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, this is the reality is that people in their hidden folders, they keep stuff that no one is supposed to
weirdest,
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime anything private becomes public,
Sure.
you look at what happens. You know,
Yeah.
It becomes a global sensation.
Gotcha.
But the
I
reality of the
live in that
situation is
fear.
I can't even judge Shay because bruh, we all do this thing.
Sure.
And my ngali kamfana we live.
It
Next
happens,
thing
yeah.
usutshela umuntu ukuthi mina faki volume boy. So kuhleka, but it's like it's not all that
Yeah,
weird.
it's
You
not
know what
that
I'm
bad.
saying?
Nah, I'm with you.
I say some weird shit, man. I'll be like,
What next there?
No, my viewers, these niggas don't need my shit, dog. Found it.
Talk to us.
Okay. SA is trending. Well, Tyla in particular.
Shout out to Tyla, man.
Yeah, you know. So she recently won a VMA.
Oh, yeah.
And she's getting backlash from the Americans. They're upset at the fact that she asked Lil Nas X to hold the award, the Moon Man.
Didn't they say it was...
Chloe.
No, but from camera
Handy,
angles,
yeah. Handy,
and Chloe and Tyla have confirmed that she
Handy.
was talking to Lil Nas X.
Sure.
Say, hey, this award is heavy. Can you please hold it for me?
Sure.
And the Americans were like, she's such an uppity African, you know, and they don't like this, and they're just giving her a whole lot of backlash. What are your guys' thoughts?
I saw Cardi B come to her defense.
Yes.
I didn't listen to that thing entirely, but I saw Cardi B come to her defense saying, firstly, you can see how small that girl is. And that thing is like almost half a...
Yeah,
half her size, but
apparently
like,
it's fucking heavy
she's
as well.
10 pounds or something like that, you know? And it's not a crime to ask someone, hey, please hold this thing. I just want to speak freely. Yeah, I just think Americans have an issue with this outsider who happens to be living, I don't want to say an American life, but their career now, or the boom of their career is American-based.
Yeah.
I think let's not deny that it's American-based, her boom of her career, right?
True,
She's living in America.
They did it to Trevor Noah as well. They were not happy that he came in from outside to come and take one of their premier properties in comedy.
Yeah. So I just think she's just getting the backlash of that. The uppity African thing,
bro, have you been to Africa, you dumb fucks? There's nothing uppity here. You niggas are living in the first world, bro. There's nothing about
I think
uppity.
this is one of the thingies. Yeah, what was this? One of the tweets.
What?
Hey, I don't think I like Tyla's personality. I think someone needs to check her because she doesn't understand American culture at all. One thing I wanted to say was that why is it that she has to, not that why does that she has to understand American culture? I think, cool, being American, understand the culture, but why can't you guys also understand me and the kind of person that I am?
Yeah.
You know, why is it that I must fit in?
Yeah,
look
why
like
must
another-
I? Americans almost demand assimilation.
Sure.
Because they think they lead the world. They've got the tender on culture. So you must conform or else, you know? And I think something that also stood out, we were speaking about it, a woman in tech, like the Usher incident.
Yeah.
Where Usher, I'm Sondela, and he's trying to grind on her. Now that guy's got a problem. He's fucking grinding on everybody's wives and girlfriends. Listen here, my man. You come to Joburg, you pull that shit so shy. Who's all shy?
Oh, shy.
Now in America, because it's Usher, people are like, oh, Usher's grinding on my wife, touch her bums.
Sure.
No. Remember that football player, Usher was grinding on his chick at her birth. He was serenading her. And then he gave her a rose or something. And then the way I'm Sondela Ngakona, the football player guy immediately posted and said, fuck this bitch, I'm breaking up with her.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, what's wrong with you? Nothing happened. And the guy was like, nah, dog. Yabo, umuntu wami lo."
That ain't the move,
And she's
yeah.
going out as a representative of our relationship.
Yeah.
That's a very African way for that guy to approach
Sure.
it. Whereas America expects this, everyone must assimilate, everybody must agree because it's Usher. He's like that. That's what people said about R. Kelly. They said, unjalo. In the meantime, what was he doing, you know?
Sure.
Behind
And-
closed doors.
Yeah, Tyler's 22 years
Yeah.
old. This dude is like closing in on 50.
Sure.
And he was trying to pull her, and she was like,
Grind
hey.
from
But
behind,
so-
from
she was-
behind.
Yeah, but she was still dancing with him.
Yeah.
Why must
She
I
was just
touch
like,
your
I'm going
pee
to dance, but not like that.
Not like that, dog.
I'm gonna
Boundaries,
dance,
man,
you know?
boundaries.
And it's also like, where did you see me dancing like that with another man, another artist? What makes Usher think it's appropriate to do that with
Sure.
Tyla?
Sure.
And then Americans come to his defense on somebody does that with everyone. And I feel like maybe it's because she's an uppity African or whatever they want to call it. But when is Tyla allowed to be herself? And when is Tyla allowed to have her boundaries?
Sure.
Because Women in Tech and I were saying, if they understood colored people, they'd understand she's just a colored girl. Faulty. You know how coloreds are, dog.
I don't know.
And try and grind on it. Shang and palm.
Here for tech.
Yeah?
Yeah, what if she started Usher with a hot one? That would have been trending globally, but it
Sure.
we would have come to her defense to say, Wenzan.
Yeah.
Well,
I
not
mean,
me, but the other colors.
Americans have just always had that attitude. It's big character energy, you know. They feel like we always have to conform and learn their ways of life, you know. And I think Tyla is one of the first few artists in a very long time was hitting the sweet spots in the American markets in a high level. She's not moving like an African artist. She's moving like a pop star from America and doing their thing. Chart topper, big singles, solid collaborations, high-end music videos.
She's not coming with the Noma Yini Pozayam.
You know what I mean? And for that, it's kind of shifting the needle, and they're not comfortable with that. And that's why Americans can have an opinion like that. Because when they come through here and they do their thing, we don't question, we don't say anything.
100%.
We had fucking Jason Derulo performing in South Africa and said on stage, "Can you guys speak English?" And no one said anything. We didn't say how. Can you come to this country and do research? You know?
Remember
once.
You know, Ilendo, I think another problem that I had was, just to extend on what you were saying, like what Joe Budden said on his podcast, like he was like, she's a plant, like
he's got a lot of cocky opinions.
Yeah,
he must come with some shy.
He talks like an artist with gold plaques. He got his gold plaque for a song he dropped like moons ago.
Fire,
you know.
I don't know any of his other songs.
Drake must continue dissing him, man.
Buddy?
Drake must keep coming for Ucho.
But he was also, his whole rant was that entitled American. Like he personified what Sabby is saying, where it's like this main character syndrome, like you and Uban.
Yes.
But it's like, let's not forget, even if you think she's a plant, Oksalayo, chart topping. She's a chart topping artist. She's winning awards. These are things that are actually happening. Whatever your opinion of how it's happening, you have to respect her for what she's done. The music is out. People are loving the music everywhere. She's a TikTok sensation. And girls from all over the world are playing her music. People from all over the world, rather, are playing it. So that's just going to run out of legs, because the longer Tyla stays in the game, the less credibility that argument has. And I think what also upsets them is they like try to hoify everyone that comes in.
100%.
You know what I mean? There was a tweet I saw where they were saying it was Sexy Red. Fucking like twerking on some guy and just like doing sexy.
I think it was Cody Black.
Kodak,
Yes. And they're basically like having sex on stage there. And then people are like, so this is what you expect Tyla to be doing, because this is the only way you'll accept a female black artist. And then, needless to say, if you look at the comments, it's like it went over Americans' heads. They were like, she's not black. It's like, that's not the point we are making here. We are saying, do you expect her, she must behave like this? Because remember, she's got South Africa watching her. That will be unacceptable. If she must carry on like Sexy Red Abuyela, I'm fine as some influence in Keze. Some cares, I'm fine. Some traveling shop.
And another thing with Americans, it's like, it's the first time they're witnessing a pop star from Africa.
Yes.
Because most of these guys have been coming through from Barbados, like with the Rihannas, Haiti, and, you know, the Nicki Minaj. So for the first time, Africa is delivering a consistent list of superstars. You know, there's Thames in the forefront. There's Burna Boy. We are just all over their faces. And I think they're getting to a point where they're overwhelmed, because you listen to rap music from America, it's not inspiring, man.
Speaking about rap music, there's two things that I had seen. There was an article, I wish we had it here, but it was just speaking on the declining rate of hip-hop and the impact of hip-hop in America, but also just worldwide. And then I think the only thing which has been talkability the entire, I'd say for a year and a bit, is this Kendrick
Drake
Kendrick Drake thing, and just what it's produced. And
not even the thing, it's literally, they're not like us. Because the Drake songs lasted for the time like 2-3 days.
2 seconds.
Whereas not like us, like reignited Kendrick's commercial career.
And look at what it's led to. You know, now there's an entire debate about
Lil Wayne is crying.
About the Super Bowl.
About the Super Bowl.
No, but Lil Wayne, it's in Lil Wayne's city. Lil Wayne's a fucking legend.
No, but can he
Louisiana.
perform? Can he perform for the Super Bowl?
That's the thing. You know,
he might have a catalog for it, but not as
right. So last year at the Super Bowl, what happened? Dr. Dre was booked, well, let's call it, right?
Yes.
But he came with Eminem, he came with 50 Cent, he came with Snoop Dogg. If I had to say to you, can Dr. Dre perform? If you ask me my top 10 performers, he's probably not on there. But if you ask me my top 10 concerts I've ever seen live or just online, Up in Smoke. It's definitely up there in the top 10.
Yeah.
Because the Up in Smoke tour was like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Because Dr. Dre came with that
was a
army of artists.
collaborative effort, yeah,
And if
effort,
Lil Wayne was booked, he'd come with YMC and B, which means he'd bring Drake.
Sure.
Which means he'd bring Nicki Minaj.
Sure.
Which means he'd bring
Tyga.
Tyga.
Come on.
Even if he brought Birdman.
Sure.
Like, Bangabulala, that Super Bowl performance is like, what, 15 minutes? It's not that long. I think he could sustain that. And for me now, it's like we're going to watch Kendrick. Bruh, me, it's not that I don't rate Kendrick, but
disagree.
How many times we've seen Kendrick in South Africa?
yeah,
guys?
dog. And now he's gonna come by himself there doing weird stuff, wearing a Jesus crown of thorns. I'm just paying
Look,
Kendrick.
I'm
fall
with
off.
you, né? But on the topic of collaboration, for me, I think it is Kendrick's chance to or time to perform. One, purely just based on obviously what happened in the year, right? And obviously what Not Like Us was able to achieve. But also, it would be nice to have him bring on a Lil Wayne during his performance.
But that's backwards, dog.
No, it's not.
He
No,
can't bring
Does he
on
have a
Lil Wayne.
what justifies, outside of it being at
in
home,
New Orleans?
yeah, what justifies Lil Wayne being the guy to perform now?
Because this is the thing. Because it's like the previous Super Bowl was in LA. Am I right?
so.
Just check for me. But I
gonna
think
look it
the
up
reason
right
they went
But
with
I can tell you about
No. I think the
Kaizer
reason
Chiefs
they
and
went with
Pirates.
Abo Dre is
Sure.
because the Super Bowl was happening Guabo
Sure.
type of thing, you
Sure.
know. Obviously 50
Yeah, it
Cent.
was
then
LA actually.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
then 50
yeah.
Cent came in from New York,
Yeah.
but that's his scheme. You understand? And I'm saying because it's in New Orleans, the vast majority of the people in attendance it's assumed will be from New Orleans,
No,
hometown.
dog.
No.
The cheapest ticket Super Bowl is like
Wait, let me
$7,000.
finish. Because that's his
That's usually
hometown.
half, like,
we
white
start
people,
with
dog.
him, and then we say, what else can he add? Now I'm gonna say, cool. Here's Kendrick. What else can he add?
Who? Kendrick.
But Kendrick
Everyone.
recently had like on what's for the Americans, I don't know, it was June 6th or something.
Oh, that show.
Yes, and he held it down, bro. Like he.
No, yeah, bulala.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not saying he's
no,
pop.
but what I'm saying is that he can still bring that kind of energy on his own, right? People are just excited that Kendrick is in the hood. They supported him, and then he brought all the gangsters, right,
stage, yeah.
on stage,
Yeah.
and that was like unheard of, unseen. Like, oh, really? Kendrick was like on some. I'm not like y'all, and they're not like us. And I think that's the thing. It's like when you look at Lil Wayne, I don't know if you've seen him perform recently, and that's my issue, is that man
he's on
is
that lead.
not.
Is he even healthy enough?
He's
or
not
fit
healthy enough to perform.
Yes, but he's got like I'm saying,
but he's
guys,
the main
gonna come with
man.
other
You're going there for
people.
Lil Wayne.
The only problem
That's
or
not
the questionable
justification enough for me.
The only questionable moment about Lil Wayne here is that point you're raising. How much of a solo performance can he deliver? Right? And that's one thing we can't take away from Jay-Z. When you look at the whole holistic performance, would he be fit enough to deliver for next year?
Alone.
Alone.
Like, even
But
if
it's
it's for
not
5
an
minutes.
alone thing.
No, I'm saying, even if it's for 5 minutes, right? Would he be able to hold? Have you seen this guy perform of
Have you
late?
seen the size of the
Also
stages?
fake.
seen-
He
you know,
forgets
this-
his lyrics.
This is how I imagine it, right? He's gonna come out with
But
I'm
it's
using
been a
an
highlight
example.
for
He's
me,
gonna come
minor.
out with Amelie, okay?
Amelie.
He's gonna come. I'm a young money millionaire. Da, 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 boom. The next song drops, and it's some YMC and B shit. Boom, Drake. The next song drops. Nicki. He's still there, but his contribution to the performance is now almost like the intro, and he's the guy that the spotlight is on. But I feel like he's got a stronger support artist thing
I just
to
think, yeah,
sustain
as-
the
as-
performance
as
at the
a
Super Bowl.
label,
Guys,
cool.
it's a production, eh?
As
So
a-
let's
I was
not
about
forget,
to say,
yeah.
the catalog you can't deny.
Yes.
Wayne's got it. When it comes to plug-ins, the artists that he's worked with,
Yes.
he's got it. But when you compare
Rock
Solo.
bands like
You
Bob
know,
Blink 182.
the
But as a solo
showmanship,
artist.
when you look at the showmanship, The Weeknd brought in, right? You look at Usher. You watch that thing to this day, you're like, yeah, Usher was rocking
Crazy.
that, bro.
Yeah.
Like he was on it, one of the most viewed. Beyonce was killing it. Rihanna, for me, disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he could top Rihanna, then okay, cool.
Sure. I just think I understand the cry of like it's in his hometown. I'm not denying that, but I'm just saying
he's a legend.
yes.
Maybe if they give him, he'll retire.
But that's
No,
not
that's
necessarily
what I'm saying. Like this is one of the things that he deserves before
Yeah.
he retires, if
Yeah.
you ever were to retire anytime soon. But my cry is just like, but you can't deny the guy that's number one right now. Like that performance. Who else would you book? Who else would you book right now in music to do
The Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. To headline the Super Bowl.
You know what though? Taylor Swift was a great name to put on as competition.
Hasn't she always
But it'll
denied
look like it'll look like nepotism because her boyfriend is Travis.
No, but hasn't she denied
just to your point you
I don't
made
know,
earlier
I'm
about
just
how
saying,
hip hop has lost relevance, if you will, is that why must the Super Bowl be headlined by hip hop artists? Remember, this thing's previously been headlined by Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson and Britney Spears, and it's not to say we can't go and fetch someone else from another genre to headline the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Well, Rock Nation is doing the talent, so of course they're going to
push Rock Nation stuff. But is that the biggest in the world right now?
Because Taylor would have done, Taylor would have done
Adele
it.
could have headlined the Super Bowl, boss.
Adele's retiring again.
Who's that other guy
Would have
who
killed the Super Bowl.
I think some of us haven't heard his music in South Africa that much. Who's this guy who's been filling up everything? Oh my gosh, you know him, man.
and Ali Chop. What?
No, he's
Spanish rapper.
J Balvin or what's the other one?
Another one.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Oh, Bad Bunny.
Hey, Bad Bunny been doing some crazy numbers also.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he would do the Super Bowl.
That would work in like a LA.
Yeah.
That would work in like because
For
of
the
the
Hispanic.
Hispanics.
Yeah.
Maybe not in New Orleans.
No, not in
I
New
suppose.
Orleans.
Yeah, I
So I'm
thought
just
you were
saying there's so
talking
many
about,
options. There's so many options.
What we were going to buy? No, what quality my bid?
Wow, what?
That's in them.
You're so wrong for that. Wrong.
I remember I'm just saying that. What's the quality my bid? How? Kuzani. Guys.
The Blue Nation.
Yeah,
Well,
they were
bring-
saying the same thing.
Hey,
They were
Fetch
like, yo,
Nsafo-
nigga, you're not going to pull
Nsafo
it
ngene
out.
case
Yeah,
then
still
get peace.
about
but
peace,
then-
man.
What else? Okay, well, let's keep it international. I was going to say let's bring it home, but
Who you got at home?
Asimo States.
Who's
no,
making
I
music
think
at home?
that then because you know how this one gets. His favorite person.
Who?
They almost tried to take him out.
Hey,
again.
my goat! Hey, Fetch! Utrab! Yeah,
That also felt staged.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Felt
Oh
staged,
my
boss.
fucking word.
Felt
The last
staged,
time
boss.
we had this conversation,
Yeah.
PH said the shit was staged.
Do you see that ear, dog? It looks like it hasn't been through life.
After the ear, I said,
You know, I actually
food.
wanted to ask. I was like, did you see? I wanted to ask, I think weeks ago. It's like, that ear,
That ear, dog.
come on.
ear healed, guys.
It looks like the
Yes,
fucking.
your boy.
It
Listen,
looks
I also
like
got
the
shot. I
page-
got shot here.
Oh, whatever.
I know you got a gun.
Yeah, bro. I actually wanted to ask.
You're
like, that
right.
ear, it healed very quickly.
Nah, it healed. No, okay, but on top of this latest
what?
assassination
You have
attempt,
30 seconds.
there's
Let's
a
go.
lot of like weird stuff that's
Yeah.
coming out about it, right? Dude was playing golf, hosting some members there at Trump International Golf Course. Lumchitalo, Ungenehlatin. He was by the fence with an AK-47 and a scope. Really weird dude. White guy, fucking somewhere in his 50s. Fucking strange. Doesn't appear to have, like, he looks like someone with no dignity and no wife.
No
But
friends.
anyway, no bras. He was somebody who was recruiting for Ukraine. So if you go on his social media for the past 2-3 years, he's been that guy that's like, yo, we got to do this for Ukraine. He's been over there. He's been trying to get guys to go and fight as mercenaries in Ukraine. That's been his whole spiel. And then he decided to make this move. But the weird thing is there's speculation, allegedly. They found a connection between him and the last guy, the one that took the first shot, the ear guy, in that they've actually made a payment to each other.
Oh.
That's weird because they're supposed to be completely unrelated. So there's like a whole lot of weird shit that's coming out about it. But I think the overarching thing is Donald Trump is not getting the protection that Donald Trump should be getting. That's how these opportunities, because it's impossible to get near the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Sure.
Super
Even a
exposed.
former.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
you know, this is not this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very difficult to get near him. And the fact that this has happened a second time, obviously it's good for Trump in terms of his numbers because it's now showing how badly they want to take him out. And it's
Still say it's
the
a
most
marketing.
talked about thing
I still
because
say it's part of the strategy.
not really. I just feel like, you know, there's no strategy necessary. The person he's running against is Kamala Harris. She's a dumb fuck. End of my shit. Thanks for the 30 seconds.
And surprisingly, she's
Winning.
doing well. Yeah, she's doing well.
Doing well.
Surprisingly.
What?
Is she doing well? With the numbers, the last time I saw
These
the
guys
polls-
don't watch, bro. Have you seen Ukhuluma Kanjani, ma'am?
No.
No.
We're
I'm
talking
just
about
saying
the polls.
The polls.
Oh.
The people are responding
Well,
differently to
by
what
that
media has been
logic,
saying.
then you guys should want Lil Wayne for the performance because even though he's high all the
Shut
time,
No.
the polls common as
Shut
fuck.
No.
She's constantly on lean. She's like, this is like MT running for president.
Hey, what? work.
Big hustle. Shout out my nigga.
They hit me with an avocado. I don't want MT to have a thread of cheese on me.
Please. Yo, we love MT here, man.
Okay, bringing it home. I don't know if you guys saw our president signed in a new bill.
The BELA Bill.
Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? Because our basic minister of education, was not there.
I just thought that was like fucked up of minister, but also it's telling.
Isn't ministers from GNU, ne?
Yes, but it's also telling. That was what I want to say. It's very telling of the
what we see and what's actually going on.
At the top.
Gayton seems to be the only one having a good time.
He's enjoying their portfolio.
He's just tweeting like,
he's enjoying their portfolio.
GNU away F1. I'm like, okay, minister
moving.
wasn't at the signing. What's happening?
No, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like, why is it for something that's quite important like that, not to have the advocate of that entire department not present?
Did you read anything about the bill?
I've read up on it. We did touch on it on the show. I think what it stands for, it makes sense. There's certain points around the BELA Bill that are quite a need, man. Like making sure that the kids start school from grade R. Discovering at a later stage when a kid is very old, go to 1, 2, 3, 4. But if they did that in their formative years, they would be way stronger. And it would be a different story. And the fact that corporal punishment is still a reality in schools. It's still crazy. That's still a thing. And the BELA Bill is trying to demolish that. You know what I mean? Outside of so many things that they're trying to do to ensure that the education system in South Africa compares with different parts of the world. I think it's the other two clauses that have opened up a conversation as to how do you sign a bill when you haven't gone through everything. And ensure that those two bills are also taken care of before you can sign this thing.
The one of the foreigners one.
I think it's close 4 and 5. Yeah.
Is that, I don't know the numbers of the clauses, but I tweeted something because I was partaking in the discussion, and this one got the most, let me call it backlash or commentary, is where people, our citizens, and if we use Twitter as X as a barometer, there is a clause in there that says that you don't need to have your documentation in order to register for school. In other words, you can't keep a kid out because that kid is undocumented. Now, obviously, there's two types of undocumented. There's undocumented where the child was born and never registered in a birth certificate, right? And then there's also undocumented Sigisti. So now, I was saying, look, there's a bigger story to it, all right? But you can't, where we at as a country, dog. It's almost like when you're saying stuff like, you don't need any documentation, and on the commentary there, a few good points that were made in terms of the opposition to the bill is people were saying, if you look at the health department, and we've touched on this before, something that the health department is suffering under is the overwhelming influx of undocumented people, where it's like on an ordinary day, if you would be seeing 100, you're now seeing 500. It's overwhelming for the staff. The infrastructure can't handle it. It's not a good thing. And there doesn't seem to be anything that we're doing about it in terms of what are we doing to close the borders? What are we doing to check these people? Obviously now there's a big thing in Joburg about attempting to round up illegal immigrants. People are saying with the school thing, we're going to have a similar situation. If you just say everyone can come, and you can say, una 5, kanti is 10. How do we prove that you are 5 and you're not 10? Now it's soccer age vibes. The second thing is, if the schools are already at capacity, because a lot of our schools are just overwhelmed by the local numbers. How is that going to work where you've got 80 people registering for one grade class? Like what you're saying in that we want the kids to learn as early as possible. It renders that whole thing pointless if the teachers are unable to teach because the classes can't handle the capacity. Every class is assembly now. It's not going to work, you see. And what I didn't appreciate, like Minister not being there, is that they went ahead anyway. And I feel like, if you're trying to project that the GNU is united, don't do that. You could have waited 3 days, dog. Like no one is pressing you all to sign the bill. And anytime government does anything, when it's related to bills being passed, I like to look at where is money coming from for this thing?
Sure.
When green energy bills were being passed, and then you find out a story that Germany is giving us 300 billion, but we must stop using coal.
I think
weird.
that's been a big thing that everyone's been putting out there, is that there was no rush. With such a very instrumental bill that speaks to the future of our country with the kids, they really could have fixed a few things. It wasn't a good look that the minister was not there.
And they did it amidst, I mean, man, like some people were so shocked.
Hey, in fact, that's another story. Hey, that's another story.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't even have time to process stuff in order. We're just like, ow, manje.
But can we talk about the gaslighting? Because they said he didn't faint. And
Yeah, but there's footage.
There's footage.
yeah.
Government said he didn't faint.
No, I just died at the.
If he didn't faint, what did he do?
Was it Dan Koda said he was doing the Idibala challenge? I was like, nigga.
Said what?
He was doing the Idibala challenge.
What the fuck, Dan Koda?
I was like, yo, what the fuck?
If it. No, but to say why lang. Vele kuyashisa Limpopo. I think it's just like I'm fana khona kushaya amanzi, you know, in 1 week, Praveen, you know, God rest his soul, Praveen passed away, then Mashatile, Kuleke Langini. People started saying, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know?
I think Eugene Koza tweeted something around good. Hey, Nesanda Semfanela.
Fine, good monkey's head.
Yeah, like
The
wasn't a great view. Wasn't a great sight.
the Praveen death. Some people celebrated it, and it was
Which
like,
was fucked up, yeah.
You
Why?
can't celebrate
Why,
it.
why do you say that?
You can't celebrate death, man. Like, I feel like it's in bad taste. Look, obviously, if it's a random person on Twitter that's like, hey, Fusak, whatever. But for me, when the EFF came out and they were like, you know what? Fuck it.
I just
was
feel like
like,
Ugufa Umuntu, guys. Like,
Yeah, it's not the time, eh?
It's not the time and place. It's not my opinions. Like, if I die, there's people that are probably going to rejoice, but not at that time. Allow my family to grieve. Allow my family to do what they need to do. They didn't kuluma in your own silos. I think
the opposing things that are said, you know, to what you're saying is like, when you mention like his family, it's like, but what about those families that lost jobs? What about the families, you know, that were affected by his greed? And that was more trending than his death. It was like, oh, good riddance.
I saw the general chatter was
Yeah.
quite negative.
You know,
And
it's
I
like-
also feel like it's not, you know, it's never okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of Praveen Gordhan
Sure.
and what he did as a minister.
It's like he had the
but it
country
doesn't
by the
mean I'm
balls.
like, yeah, well, I hate what you did as a minister, Fusak, you know? I feel like death is a sensitive one.
100%.
Because also remember, before he did all
100%.
that stuff, why is Talwa Tangit? He was a struggle hero. Ungede kanjani kahle kahle?
Yeah, no. Not discounting that or discrediting that. It's just like, once you got in from being a stalwart, then it was team me, and never team, you know, the country or whatever. It was just like, it was all these things were for your benefit and for your homies' benefit, and we as a country suffered. And now it's like, must we celebrate you now that you're gone?
Yeah,
Well,
when it
we
comes
won't
to
be
politics.
celebrating, but I mean, you know, we can say RIP time.
Yeah,
That's asking for a lot.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, they tried to pull a move to distract, you know. The poor Mashatile fainted, you know.
Aish, a lot has happened.
At least he didn't get up, Simbiwe, and say, they shot me in my ear.
Okay, well, to wrap it up with
Get
the
well
last.
soon, but Mashatile, VP!
Yeah, that's
In
in
this
this man.
bitch.
Come
What's
on.
already as Rubai president?
Really?
Yeah, they asked him if Cupcake had to pass over the Banton, would he take it? And he said he's ready.
And then he fainted.
Hey, so I don't know if
Son.
he's physically ready, but mentally.
Interesting.
I beg
He's ready
like,
to
yeah,
lead.
she's a funny musina.
It's been hot. It's been crazy hot the last couple.
But Limpopo hot is another type of hot. There's some fucking equatorial temperature. Hey, my man, you're walking around the whole environment. Ozempic. Chulugo.
Even phones are like, I'm not gonna operate. Cool down.
Go to Lipalale, you come back to Joburg. 2 days, 4 kgs.
Okay, and our last story, I don't know if you guys have seen it. There's been an employee who's exposed a new restaurant.
Oh, the BELA
In
Bill. What?
Milan.
BABEL.
BABEL.
I haven't been there. It recently opened.
Dude,
It's
I
a
found
million.
out about the place when I saw the story. I didn't even know.
It's opposite.
Next thing they were posting pictures of Stefan
Yeah.
I was like, how much you going to
Yeah.
The amount of press they've received is a whole lot.
Crazy.
But
Yeah.
what that waiter was saying and revealing about that restaurant is the reality and the truth, what other waiters are experiencing in various restaurants across the country.
Yeah.
The conditions, we actually spoke about it this morning on the radio, and there was a lady that shared a story, not to digress, is that some of these managers make them do some crazy stuff. This lady's like, she works at a spa, and the boss would force them to give clients happy endings.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's like sexual assault, man.
Yeah.
So the reality is also at restaurants, there's some shit that people are dealing with as waiters. Even some guy, who worked at some restaurant, wanted to remain anonymous. The manager said some stuff to him. He was like, you know what, for my dignity, I'm a hero to my kids. I'm leaving this place. Now he's an Uber driver. So what that story also revealed, there's so many restaurants or franchises or spots in jail that are just running businesses illegally, which speaks to hiring people with not the right documentation.
Or the hiring people who will accept that type of treatment.
Sure.
Yeah, but
I think Lo putting a video, like, people were also like, the ones who were hating on her. I felt like she was very genuine. I think she articulated herself in a way
quite
which was
well,
like,
yeah.
hey, listen, me, I tried. Yeah, bo.
Sure.
Ngingene, but it's uniform.
Yeah.
They said this, they said this. I kind of like, I did everything that was asked of me.
Sure.
And I feel like, because it wasn't picking up, it makes it worse. Because the reality is, this is the industry we have knowledge in. Is that if you're a waiter, I know some waiters that work for the very same guy. These niggas are making 30, 40, 50, 100K
money,
a
gang
night.
money, yeah.
Now, if you're making 100K a night as a waiter, you're going to ask for a basic salary? Of course not. But they've been in the game for many years.
Sure.
Because the whole model is that if you are a waiter at PH's club, the people that are coming to PH's club and spending at PH's club, if they're giving you 10% of what they're spending, you'll be nice.
Sure.
Yabo, uzoshayim, uzopop, I'm fine. 10K, 20K, 100K, kanjalo. But when you're not making, when you're starting out, I feel like it's fair to say, nah, basic at least, yabo. Kuhamba nokubuya, imali ye-Uber.
Some are not even getting that. There was a
That's
chat
the
this
thing.
morning.
So,
Yeah.
look, I mean, I didn't watch the video in its entirety, but from what I got was like, it started like, obviously she's starting out, she doesn't have a customer base, and she's going to feel the wrath of not making money, Some of the things I think were a bit extreme, where you're having to pay for. I don't.
The fines thing was a bit weird.
I think some of the things were a bit unfair. Where the fines and
the uniform.
the
as well.
uniform. No, I think those things are provided by the establishment. I'm not discrediting what she was saying. Please, I was just like, I was a bit shocked to find out that you're paying for uniform, you're paying for whatnot. But for most part, what you've said is that once you've built a healthy customer base in that space, like, you make a lot of money. I know quite a lot of waiters.
Yeah, okay. And they're not struggling, eh?
And you
Right.
make gang money. But obviously, look, this is also subjective to where you are, the experience that you have. So all of these things are relative. Not to discredit what that lady experienced, and it's very sad, to realize that some people are living those lives. I do want to say that I've always felt like our industry, not that it needs to be unionized, it's just a lot of gaps where unfair treatment, exploitation can happen, unfair treatment. That's the one thing I've always felt, and it needs the right representatives, directing or spearheading the conversation as to how people get protected, how establishments get protected, and how we go about,
Policing the industry.
Policing the industry. Yeah.
Because the next thing I saw, my video, find people from immigration or something
Sure.
were there. They were like, we're closing the place. And,
Sure.
It's amazing how when a video
Social
goes
media
viral
things,
and that video is like painting a place in a negative light, how that thing can catch fire.
Sure.
And next thing now, all of a sudden, the city of Tshwane is now working.
Yeah.
Niggas are coming there, they're shutting the place down and stuff. And I feel like, for me, when the first thing I saw was a picture of Stefan. Now, I know that guy. We know that, you know what I'm saying? I can't say that time, he's owned other places, and he's the same owner who owns establishments where waiters will tell you an opposite story to that cherry. Do you know what I mean? And he's been in the game for many years. So I also felt like, he's not necessarily the man owns multiple places. I don't know who the fuck was running the shop in Pretoria.
Sure.
But the impression I got, and from the pictures they were posting, irano abanye abantu,
Abanye abantu,
you know.
yeah.
Mhlampe yena naye he's also finding out ukuthi le nto ihamba kanje.
Sure.
And me, I can honestly say I don't think that nigga would allow somebody like Stefan is not a guy who's gonna tell you pay for your own uniform. It's a crime.
Or
No
cutlery.
chance.
Or cutlery.
Yeah, not a fuck. And sometimes when these things are happening, you know, we've also experienced.
Sure.
Sometimes these things can be happening, you won't even know about it.
Sure.
Where it's like there was an article or there was another statement made saying over 500K in tips is owed to the staff by the establishment that's somehow been held back.
Sure.
Now that one was a red flag for me. Because I bet you the owner knows fuck all about that. You know how it is. Niggas will come through and the tips and monies that are made are concealed in very, very clever ways because nobody ever checks.
Sure.
Now there's a reason to check. You find this information out. It comes out as though the venue,
establishment.
establishment.
When it could be an
and this
individual, yeah.
it could be an individual who's
Yeah.
siphoning
Pocketing
money.
yeah.
You as the waiter didn't even know that you owed 500K in tips, you know?
Sure.
Because if that money had to be split across the waiters, that chick wouldn't have made that video. Do you know what I mean? If someone hits her with a 50K now, bruh, she'll work, my man. Fana na laba, but my happy ending, yeah.
Look, yeah, I just think, yeah, the industry, I don't want to say it needs attention, man, but with my experience, there's room for exploitation, but there's also room for, not even room, there is room to make a lot of money, you know, but I don't know, maybe the more I talk, the more...
The more I am actually convinced that you need to start it, brother. Take us, PH, start the
Fully
union.
Union of waiters.
I've always wanted, in every space that I've worked in, I've always wanted good for the people that you know work within the establishment. You never want people who work for you to steal from you. You know, if anything,
true.
compensate those people. Yes, in my experience, I've been stolen from.
A lot of times.
Even though you were compensating.
Even though I was
Yeah.
compensating, I was stolen from.
Yeesh.
But it's a story for another day. But I mean, look, yeah,
That's no
some
question.
people work in some tough conditions. But it's a story for another day. We have a legend, like I said, in this building.
Wow.
Mfundi,
Future
Mfundi Saddy.
legend.
But
Thank
Mfundi, what's next, dog? Opening up a church?
No, not anytime. Not anytime
Yeah,
soon.
it's cocktail.
I'm back in podcasting. Next week, I'm actually dropping my next series of podcasts.
I was a part of his first podcast. This man was ahead of his time, man.
Yeah.
I was watching our podcast, I think about 2-3 weeks ago. And when was it? 2019? It was before COVID.
Yeah,
right?
before COVID. That's 2019.
Pre-COVID,
Yeah.
2019. We did a cool podcast. Koji, what was it called?
Behind the mic.
Behind the mic.
Behind the mic.
Yeah, I remember
Chatting
the
with
audio.
radio DJs,
I was listening.
yeah.
I was like, nah, we were coming up. The audio wasn't there.
I know what it wasn't.
We
We're
tried-
early on our time.
No,
right?
the mics, but no. But now, I mean,
Yeah.
where the man is now, you know, it's a great story. And I was just watching the series of interviews that he had, and it's obviously just where the man is right now, and the projection. It's beautiful to watch. All the best, dog.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, you saying you're gonna open a church? Yeah?
No. Not anytime soon. Not
Yeah.
anytime soon. But man, I think it's still continuing to dominate and just build what we've curated
Sure.
in the morning with an amazing team. Best mornings. Shout out to the team, man. I think the team is
Most
very,
profitable.
very most profitable.
On the station.
The highest time slot in the whole corporation.
Let's go.
Come
You know
on.
what I mean?
Come on.
You know what I mean?
MG5. I'm telling you,
Do they still do that? Do they still do that?
Yeah,
Wow.
MG5, man.
Safters, shout out.
Thank you very much. Nomination.
Yes, nomination.
Shout out one time to the team, GOAT. I think we really produced something amazing. Shout out to Bontle. Teamwork really made that thing shine. We were working crazy hours. I felt like I was an actor there. Like you check in at 9, scheiße late.
Really?
It was absolutely amazing. So I hope we bring that one home. Back to podcasting. I'm dropping a single, Shelele, very soon. Trust me, that
Music, hey.
that one,
Zonkebo.
that one is going to be crazy. We're working on a campaign that's going to pair up with the song. Probably going to be the biggest giveaway, to date. I wish I could say it right now, but the team will come for me.
So good.
But yeah, man, like it's just pressing and just going harder and harder. I'm excited about music. I haven't dropped in a very long time.
The last one you dropped was with Nalingi,
It was Manu Will Star. That was
Manu.
Tewa.
Yeah,
Tewa,
yeah.
yeah. Drop Tewa. This one I'm going to drop is Koshelele. I'll tell you who's featured on the song very soon. But I'm going to play it for you guys. Trust me.
Okay.
That thing is, when it rings off. I'm fine when it rings off. Yarr! I'm excited about the song.
I say you beat, I'm fine.
No. This one, think of back in the day, Mendoza cruising in a crossfire, Zola in a crossfire.
Nice.
Bakipa Masweet.
Nice.
You know what
Sure.
I mean? When people see you, you're a sign of positivity. It's people that are bringing light into their families. We're embracing that. I feel like also the spiritual alignment that has really taken off at Metro, it's kind of reminded me that as people, we just need to embrace light. And that's what the song is. It's light. Life is shelele.
Nice.
All the moments. You bought your car, you have a baby, you're starting a podcast.
Yeah, number two, baby number two.
Baby number 2,
Yeah.
I'm making babies.
Pull out game is weak.
compete. It's so crazy. Ethan, it feels like Ethan was born now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Sekakhulile, man. Seka model.
Sure, shout out, yeah.
Yeah, man, my baby girl is here.
Lovely.
Bro, like I swear, guys, I'm just cruising, embracing this moment.
Love it.
Sometimes we overthink things. I'm just embracing this moment. Had a great year. Sila, so much to do. And there's 105 days left until we're done this year, man. So yeah.
DJ Sabby.
DJ
best thing
Sabby,
ever.
my
That's
dog.
the man in the building. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you
We
very
know
much,
that
man.
your time is very valuable. So,
For you guys.
Mula futhi ekhamba, guys.
Yeah.
Try around.
Let's go home.
Bahlala bakuthumela my bank account now.
Hey,
Bathumela ama e-wallet.
Where's this for Pele?
catch him on the Mighty Metro. It goes in the name of DJ Sabby every single morning, 6 to 9 a.m.
Best mornings, DJ
The
Sabby
best
can us one
mornings.
time with Zanzibar, with Owen Honey.
Hey, Sandy is on your show, right?
Yeah, Zandy's on my show.
Hey.
She's-
Okay. He wants a league to go out. Fucking volume, boy.
Hey,
But you got her numbers,
I can
though.
call her right now.
Yeah.
I can call her right now.
Then why are you asking Sabby?
Yeah,
What's
but-
up, fuck?
Cause
Why ungamphone?
Faki Spice.
Show us.
Must I call her?
No, don't
Oh.
call her.
Yeah,
Sabby's here.
Oh, there we go.
Shout out to
Yeah.
the team.
Follow you alone.
Producer
Bro,
B.
Thank you very much for your time. We're out of here.
Yeah.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, comment, do the things that you always do, and hit us up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll see you in the streets. Shady Podcast everywhere, all the socials.
Away.
Take it easy, and if it's easy, take it home. Fucking volume, boy.
I can't say fucking volume.
Fucking volume. Fucking volume.
Phela mina ngiyinsizwa mina.